Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got another good one for you today. We're going to use ChatGPT to create this blog post right here. And it's a 1,000-word post on using ChatGPT for web design. And it's come up with some fantastic content. We'll also show you where to get the free stock photos. Really easy to do, and you can also add the keywords with it, and we'll do that at the end. Okay, well, let's create a new blog post. I'm going to go up here, I'm going to hit the new button, I'm going to hit post. Now we're using the Divi theme for this today, but of course you can use this on any WordPress theme that you want. We just happen to be using Divi with it today. Okay, add your title. I think I'll just change that because I've already got that in there. So let's say how to use. That'll work for me. I don't want a sidebar on mine. And let's hide that title. We'll put in our own. So I'm going to hit the hide down at the bottom there. Great. Well, before we go any further, what we really want to do is set a featured image for this and a category. So I'm going to go over to pexels.com and I'll put this link below the video. In their photos section, I did a search for AI, capital A, capital I, and it came up with these images, and they're all pretty cool. There's some really good ones here. So let's perhaps use one. I've actually downloaded a bunch of these already. Let's get a new one. Let's try that one. And only download the size that you really need. There's a little drop down here. Medium 1280 by 853 is going to work for me. I'm using Google Chrome, so it's downloaded it to my browser right here. Yours is going to download to your default location, wherever that is, unless you're using Chrome too. Let's go back to the site now, and we'll add the featured image. Here are some of the other images I downloaded previously. I'm going to drag it up there. Not a bad idea to give it a title that matches your blog post. Alt text should really be used for screen readers describing the image itself. A lot of people do use it for keywords, though. They'll put that in there. Whether or not keywords work anymore in today's browsers, who knows? But for best practice, why not put them in? Okay, we can set our featured image now. Obviously, if you've got a category, great, check that. If not, add a new category. Let's call this category AI. We'll add that new category. There it is. It's also already selected for us. Great, now we've got our featured image and category. We can go ahead and build our blog. And the reason we use a featured image, that's what it's going to pull in when we create a blog post page. Okay, let's use the Divi Builder. And let's get rid of that image at the bottom there. I'm going to build from scratch. Okay, and this is what it gives us. I'm going to add a new row simply for my title. I'm going to use a text module for my title. And let's pop our title in here. I'm going to delete what's in there and just paste my new title in there. It's already made it a heading 2, but if it hasn't, just select it, put it up there. Always a good idea to give your titles a heading 2 by doing just that. Great. Well, let's just pop it in the middle and perhaps give it a color. I'm going to hit the little pencil icon. That'll take us straight to it. I'm going to make it semi-bold. Let's make it blue. And we'll pop it in the middle. Great. Okay, now comes the fun part. Let's go over to ChatGPT. And I'll put this link below. It's openai.com. When you get there, hit the Try ChatGPT button right there. That'll take you to this page. You may have to sign up for a free account. And it is free. All you do is put in an email and a password. And if I roll up to the top of this page, I asked it to write a 1,000-word blog post article about using ChatGPT in web design using a friendly tone. And the more descriptive you make your question, the better the results are going to be. And we'll roll back down. And I can put it here in the little search box and hit the little arrow. And as you can see, it started creating our little blog post for us. So while it's doing that, let's go back to our site. I'm going to go down, I'm going to add a new row. I'm going to do similar that I did before, which is having a little sticky image on one side and content on the other side. And for that, I'm going to use this row structure. 2 columns, one slightly smaller. Let's add the first image first. I'll use content on the left and a little image on the right. Now remember, I've downloaded these images from pexels.com. And let's perhaps start with that one right there. And again, best to give it a title that matches or one of your keywords. I'm going to go ahead and upload my image. And there it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my little article up into different sections with different rows. And I'm going to make this sticky. So when we scroll down reading it, that stays in view until we get to the end of a particular row. To do that, go over to the advanced. You're going to go down to scroll effects. I'm going to say stick to top. Bottom sticky limit is going to be the end of this row with this particular paragraph that I'm going to put in there. So I'm going to select row for that. Now when you scroll up the page, it's going to stick to the top up there. I don't want it right on the top, so I'm going to use a bit of sticky offset. I'm going to say perhaps 50 pixels. Or even a bit more if you want to. That way when you scroll up, it'll sit just below right there. Great. Well, let's see how ChatGPT is going. Okay, well, it seems to have stopped right here. I don't think we've got the full article. No. If it does that to you, you can simply go in the little search box there and write continue. And it continues where it left off. ChatGPT is a relatively expensive technology. Great. Well, let's go up to the top here. And we can start putting this in, even though it's not finished writing it, as long as you're happy with it, obviously. So I'm going to use this first couple of paragraphs, probably. Maybe down to the next title. Copy as much as you want. Control C to copy. We'll go back to our site. We're finished with our image right there. Let's go back into here and we'll add a text module for this also. Obviously you can build this how you want. I'm keeping it fairly simple here, just using text modules, but you can really get some beautiful blog posts with a bit of thought. I'm going to select everything that's in there, delete it. Control V to paste what I just copied in there. Great. Let's roll down. I want to make that a title, so I'm going to select it, make it a heading 3. And I'm going to do the same for the chatbots. I don't really want that as a numbered list, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to go up. There's the numbered list. If I deselect that, that'll take that number away. Let's make it a heading 3 also. Roll on down. Same with this one. Don't want a number. Let's make it a heading 3. Great, well that's our first little row right there. And as you see, as I scroll up, that image is going to stick to the top there. And of course you can link that image anywhere. I didn't show you that. Just go back to the image, down to link. You can put a link to any URL in there that you want. Best practice is always, if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking off-site, open it in a new tab. You can also choose to open it in a lightbox, which will pop it out into a larger version when they click on it. Great, well that's our first little section. Let's go back to ChatGPT. And we got down to here. Let's see how it's doing. Yep, that's got it. And I actually did a word count on the last one that I did with word counter up here, and it came up to 897 words, so it's pretty close. You can ask it to do more if you're not happy with that. Okay, well, let's get the next couple sections. Let's perhaps do personalization, accessibility, SEO. That will do for the next section. And of course, to save time, what I'm going to do is just duplicate this row right here, 2 little squares to duplicate it. There it is down below. I'm going to go in to the text, select everything in there, Control A, delete it, and Control V to paste what I just copied from ChatGPT. I don't know why I have a real problem saying ChatGPT. It messes up my mouth somewhat. Anyway, let's do the same with this. And we want to make that heading 3 similar. And what I'll do for the other sections, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'll pause the video and just add the other bits of text from ChatGPT. And take that away. Heading 3. There we go, perfect. And let's change out this image perhaps for a different one. There's our library. Select which image you want. Great. Like I say, I'll pause this now and I'll do the other sections that we've got here for the rest. Okay, and there we have it. I've added the last of that now. And let's just perhaps add something on the bottom related content wise. So I'm going to add another row. Little green button for a row. Okay, I'm going to use 50/50 for this today. And I did a video yesterday about how to add or how to create a one-page scrolling site in 40 minutes with ChatGPT and also generate some AI images. So let's add that. I'm going to use a little text module for the description again. And like I say, I've made this really simple. You can really go to town on your blog posts to make them really good looking. And let's find this. Get rid of what's in there. Control A, delete, and Control V to paste in what I had there. Let's make that a title. And in the right hand column here, let's add a little video. We'll roll down, we'll get a little video block. And I'll get my URL. And let's get rid of the one that's in there. And I'll put my insert from URL video, YouTube video URL just up here. It should appear down below. There we go. And we'll pop that in there. Great, I think I might want a little bit more gap between the last row and this new row here. So let's add a bit of padding to the top of this row. Green tab for the row. I'm going to go over to design, spacing. Let's add, say 70 pixels to the top there. Yeah, that'll work for me. Great. Well, there's the actual post itself done. We can save our changes now. But we want to add keywords to it and things like that. Like I say, whether or not keywords work nowadays, who knows? I've heard that they do, and I've heard that they don't. On the other hand, it's not going to do any harm putting them in. So let's exit Visual Builder. We'll go back over to ChatGPT. And let's say, write 25, long tail, low competition, high search volume, keywords for, let's say, ChatGPT in web design. And there we go. It's giving us some nice little long tail keywords there. And I've just noticed I've put a gap between the chat and the GPT. Let's correct that and we'll do it again. So I'm going to copy this. And we'll pop it down. Let's get rid of that gap there. And we'll hit that again. That's better. And while it's writing those, let's go back to our site here. I'm going to hit the edit post. So we'll go back into this post. And if we look down on the right hand side here, you'll find tags, which are keywords basically. Let's go back to our ChatGPT. Okay, there's another little problem here. Really, we want to comma separate all these. We could copy them and put a comma after them, but it might be easier to just do it again. Control C. Let's say comma separated. And see what happens now. As you can see, it's coming up with comma separated keywords for us. Perfect. Now let's copy this. Now we can go back to our blog post. Put your cursor in there, Control V to paste, and there's all those tags for you. When you're happy, you can save draft or publish, and preview the post. There's our little post, and obviously make sure you read through anything that ChatGPT generates, because I've read that it does hallucinate sometimes and thinks that facts are real when they're not. So know your subject a little bit. Read through, and when it's good for you, go ahead and build it. And that is a real time saver. That's going to change the game a little bit. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a demo video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.